Hello and welcome back to the Stoic Quotient. Today, we're going to explore how choosing silence after someone's rejection can be one of the most empowering actions you'll ever take. This isn't about manipulation or hoping they'll come running back. It's about reclaiming your worth, your peace, and ultimately building resilience in the face of adversity. So let's dive in and talk about why, when faced with rejection, silence can be your strongest response and a tool to build self-respect. Stop bending over backwards. You've probably been there before, feeling like you've given everything. You dropped your plans, ignored your own needs, and went out of your way just to show them your worth, hoping they'd see how much you care. You were always available, always accommodating. But how did they respond? Did they reciprocate that energy, or did they treat you like an afterthought? Perhaps they took you for granted, walked all over your efforts, and never once stopped to think about the energy you put into the connection. And let's face it, no matter how hard you tried to reason, communicate, or even ask for a sliver of appreciation, they ignored it. The harder you tried, the more invisible you felt. But here's where the shift happens. Once you exhaust every option and realize nothing else works, you're left with one powerful move: silence. The power of silence. Why less is more. So you make a decision: no more calls, no more texts, no more checking in. You disappear from their radar, just like that. And that silence, my friend, does something no words could. It's louder than any conversation or plea. Why? Because it forces them to feel the weight of your absence, rather than the convenience of your presence. Imagine them now, going through their daily routines, acting like nothing's changed. But in quiet moments, they'll start to notice the difference. No more late-night texts. No one there to validate them when they need an ego boost. They begin to realize that the one person who was always available has vanished, and suddenly, that silence starts to feel suffocating. Standing strong in your decision. In this moment, you have a choice: stay strong in your silence or crack under the pressure of doubt and reach out. And it's so tempting to check in, to see if they finally realize your worth. But remember, every time you break that silence, you break the power of your absence. This isn't the time to bend, it's the time to build. Your silence says, "I choose me," and that's an incredibly powerful message, one that forces them to reflect. When you choose silence, you're telling them that your worth isn't up for debate. If they were too blind to see it when you were there, then it's their loss, not yours. Transforming yourself instead of waiting. And here's where true Stoic wisdom comes into play. Instead of sitting and waiting for them to regret or realize what they lost, turn your focus inward. This time, pour all that energy you used to give to them back into yourself. Invest in things that make you feel empowered, that help you grow stronger, and that elevate your spirit. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "First say to yourself what you would be, then do what you have to do." Use this silence as a time to rebuild yourself, to grow and strengthen your character. By focusing on your growth, you stop merely waiting for someone else's validation and start finding fulfillment within. And that's something nobody can take away from you. Clarity in silence. Do they truly value you? Now, here's another truth that silence will reveal. If they genuinely valued you, they'll feel your absence like a missing piece. They'll reflect on their actions, realizing the respect they failed to give. But if they don't feel that need to reach out, that too is valuable knowledge for you. It shows that maybe, just maybe, they were never invested as you thought. And while that truth may sting, it's better to see it clearly than to live in uncertainty. This is why silence isn't just about waiting, it's about understanding. It's a way to reveal whether someone's affection was ever real or just convenient. If they truly care, they'll feel the absence and take action. If they don't, you've saved yourself from pouring any more energy into someone who never deserved it. Reclaiming your freedom and moving forward. By this point, silence has done its work, and you've learned what you needed to know. Whether they come back or not, you've made the most important discovery of all. You've reclaimed your self-worth. You've chosen to prioritize your growth, your mental peace, and your emotional freedom over waiting around for anyone to realize your value. This silence was never about revenge or hoping they'd change. It was about showing yourself that you deserve more than to be someone's afterthought. Marcus Aurelius, another Stoic philosopher, once said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Here, your silence was the obstacle that made you stronger and more resilient. Embracing the future with strength. So, as we wrap up, I encourage you to hold on to this inner power. Don't let anyone's temporary attention dictate your worth. Instead, embrace the clarity and freedom that come from choosing silence. It's a testament to your resilience, a marker of your growth, and the ultimate expression of self-worth. And before you go, take a moment to affirm this with me. Silence is my superpower. Because, believe it or not, it truly is. Thanks for joining us, and remember to keep choosing strength, growth, and the power of silence.